World War II. Wow, what a disaster. Speaking of World War II, we have caught an old British lady shouting at the historian museums that child labor during World War II should have not existed, since it has destroyed her family and led to losing her son. Is what she is saying true? Let us find out with the professional historian Dr. Jane. See you later. Hello, I'm Dr. Jane. The case brought to me today is that child labor was a disturbance to families' peaceful life during World War II. Well, let me start by saying yes, it was quite a disturbance to every family. Now I understand you will start wondering about why is that. Children were forced to work in factories, making machines during World War II due to the loss of workers. These machines were mostly made as a method of transportation or sometimes weapons for war. During child labor, one of the negative effects was that children were humiliated and were a victim of some sort of abuse. Children were forced to work in farms gathering all types of fruits and harvest. The overwork and lack of sleep, you would find children lying on the ground, searching for spare time to shut their eyes. Speaking of time, children would wake up early in the morning to attend to their jobs and would find no time to spend with their family. That is family disturbance. Workers died as a result of their living conditions, mistreatment, and torture was the main cause of their death. Many of these workers were either hostages from European countries or normal poor workers. The death of over 12 million workers, which led to the use of children during World War II, is now known as child labor. Stubborn as he is, Hitler did not let anyone stop him from achieving his goal, which is conquering most of the world. Child labor is the use of young children as workers in factories, farms, and mines. Child labor was the first recognized as a social problem with the introduction of the factory system in the late 18th century. In Great Britain, children had formerly been apprenticed or had worked in family, but their employment soon constituted virtual slavery, especially among British orphans. Most of the children working was due to their poverty and necessity of the workers. Sometimes children were sold into labor markets when families could not take care of them anymore. This applied mostly on British orphans or any other orphans. Early 1700s and 1800s, power-driven machines or industrial revolution began first in UK, then in USA. The factory owners found a new source to run their machines on, which are children, and they could be hired more cheaply than adults. By mid-1800s, child labor was a major problem. 2 million school-aged children began working to earn $1 from 50 to 70 hours a week. Many of the children began working on age of 7, underground and coal mines and farms. These children had no time to play or go to school, and little time to child labor was lessened by Parliament Acts in 1802 and later. After World War II, child labor was recognized as a major problem in the United States. A constitutional amendment was passed in Congress in 1924, but was not approved by enough states. The first major standards of Act of 1938 set a minimum age limit of 18 for occupations, as it was estimated that 186 million children were involved in child labor. We finish our interview with Dr. Jane, and we can finally conclude that child labor was actually a disturbance during World War II, and that old lady was right. Bye, and see you later.